Hey everybody, welcome to the Let's Play Leak. I'm John as always, and we're back in Kerbal Space Program for what may be a pretty quick video, kind of an add-on to the previous video. So this is the satellite that we just launched in Kerbal Space Program Part 9, I believe. It has done its science, and I sped up time just to see what would happen because I knew it was crossing the path of the moon a couple of times, and I wonder if it was ever going to get a moon encounter. And it turns out that it is going to get a moon encounter. It took maybe 10 or 15 orbits of Kerbin, but it's going to encounter the moon. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to attempt to perform temperature scans of the moon. It's a contract type that I have never done before. I have never tried this. You basically have to fly over very specific parts of a body, be it Kerbin or the moon or wherever, and perform a temperature scan and send it back. And you have to do this 3 or 4 times. So I'm going to give it a go. We're going to warp up to our encounter with the moon, see if we can get into an orbit with the fuel that we have left on this probe, and once we get into orbit, then see if we can actually get our orbit into these specific places where we need to be doing temperature scans. So what's going on here? There we go. There's our moon encounter. All right, so we need to slow down. Let's slow down into a very, very small orbit of the moon. 106 meters, 83 meters, 49. I want something like 30. There's no atmosphere on the moon, of course, so we don't have to worry about any aero braking happening or anything. We could go as low as 20. Any lower than that, you have to start worrying about mountains just crashing into the side of them. But there's no atmosphere or anything to worry about. So we're going to need to figure out what kind of burn that's going to take. And this is something you might come across. The estimated burn is currently not available. That's because we just loaded up this probe, and these engines have never fired. Or as far as it understands, these engines have never fired. And so it doesn't know. It can't calculate it. So what we're going to do is a very quick burst at full blast and turn it back off. Now it says, okay, it's going to be 11 seconds for that burn. Actually, it didn't even get to full blast. There we go. It's going to be 6 seconds for that burn. So now it knows how long it needs to take. So 6 seconds isn't very bad at all. We can at least get this probe into orbit around the moon. And then we'll see if we can get it to those specific places that we need to go. So our encounter with the maneuver node is not for another 4 hours, and we need to be at T-minus, T-minus 3 seconds. So we're going to, I don't know why the maneuver node is all the way up there now. Something looks like it's being a little bit wonky. Let's warp time. All right, let's pretend that maneuver node is where it's supposed to be, and let's just fly by the seat of our pants a little bit. Let's go full blast for about 5 seconds. Oops, prograde. Whoa, ship. Oh, SAS is not on. That would be why. That would be why things were so hard to control. So where does that have us? That has us, delete that maneuver node. That has us just absolutely smashing into the side of the moon. So we need to burn prograde a little bit so we don't smash into the moon. So let's tilt this around. Prograde. Little bit of thrust. Little bit of thrust. And let's get a periapsis here. Periapsis, where are you? 12,000. Let's make it 20,000. There we go. And yeah, you'll see these things have popped up here. These are the sectors that we need to fly over and do temperature scans of. And that's about all I know. I've never even really attempted this. It actually looks like we almost need to be in a polar orbit here. Yeah. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But let's get to the other side of our orbit. Burn retrograde some more and get this into a very nice tight little orbit. So pull the apoapsis in. Bring it down to, I don't know, 20, 30, something like that. Oops, periapsis got a little bit low there. And let's fiddle with some maneuver nodes and see if we can get our orbit to maybe go over one of those sectors. So let's put this here and let's start tilting the orbit. And remember, this is going to use a fair bit of fuel. So I don't know if this will work. This may be a complete abject failure. But at least we tried. Alright, so that's actually getting a little bit close, I think. And that's only an 11-second burn. And I don't even think we were burning at full blast. So maybe it'll work. Maybe it'll work. Let's warp. Whoops. Let's warp to about here. And yeah, let's see if we have 11 seconds left. We've got a lot of fuel, and I think that was at a low burn as well, so I don't think it'll even take 11 seconds. And then it looks like we might actually cross pretty close to 2 places. So let's get ourselves to our maneuver node location. And then let's warp up to our maneuver nodes. It's T-minus 11 seconds. Let's actually do a full blast burn and let go. Okay, so it was at full blast, so it is 11 seconds. So we're going to speed up until we get to T-minus 5.5 seconds, which is right about... Well, not now. It's going to be in 5 seconds or so. T-minus 9, 7, 6. Let's go now. So let's do this full burn. Okay, there we go. I was worried. It looked like we were just going to crash. Yeah. That looks good to me. That looks good to me. How high are we above the moon? We are 5,000 meters. And our apoapsis is going to be 13,000, 4,000. Well, as long as there's no mountains, we should be fine. We should be fine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to briefly check the contracts. So I'm going to hit escape and go to the Space Center. And you can do this at any time during a flight. The flight will still be there. It'll still be going. Time will be going, but we're back here. So I'm going to go after the contract and check out the active contract that we have. We need to be in spaceflight above 8,300 meters near zone that 11,800, 8,600 meters. So I'm not sure what the range is that we're allowed. I assume we don't have to be exactly those, but let's aim for about 9,000 for any of the ones, and we should be kind of okay. So we just go back to the Space Center. And we go to Untitled Spacecraft, which is out here, and we fly it. So here we are back with our spacecraft, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to warp us to this point. Not to next maneuver, because we don't need that. Let's warp us to here. This is, oh, it doesn't actually tell me what point it is. It's a little bit of a pain that it doesn't tell you the name of the point. Location 9LK3. Area, whatchamacallit. Oh, I guess the location is called Engineer's Periphery. It's got a fancy little name on it. Alright, so that's going to be our first orbit, I think. We'll see if it counts for the Engineer's Periphery place or not. And I'm going to actually quit that warping and warp at the speed. Oh, I can't actually warp any faster. That's a bit unfortunate because we're below 10,000 meters, of course. And the view is not all that spectacular. It's just currently pitch blackness. But here we go. We're getting close. We're getting close. We are getting close. So, oh, okay, there we go. Cool. So we get a little notification. We are entering Engineer's Periphery. So we can then go and do a temperature scan, which means I have to look at this almost pitch black thing and figure out where the heck the thermometer is. There it is. So let's log the temperature and let's send it to Kerbal. And we completed part of it. All right. All right. Let's not use up all of our electricity because we are on the dark side of the moon at the moment. So we performed our first scan successfully. That's awesome. And we're coming up on zone 9L-K3, and then we just have to somehow get up there with the fuel that we have left, and there's not that much fuel left. I believe this probe will have served its purpose once it does as much temperature as it can, and it will have a spectacular descent to the surface of the moon. So we're going to log our temperature for this place, and I guess send it back, even though it's not worth any science. But it's going to complete our contract. People back on Kerbal really needed to know what the temperature was there. And now we're going to get our orbit up there somehow. Tilt! Tilt! Slow down! On tilt? I don't know what's happening with this orbit anymore. Alright, let's trash that maneuver node for the time being. Alright, so we need to tilt it. And let's slow it down. And let's untilt it. No, retilt it? Retilt it, I guess we'll do. And then let's slow it down. Alright, I don't fully know exactly how to tilt orbits all that successfully. So we tilt it, and then that's not slowing it down, that's speeding it up. So there we go. So that's actually going to get pretty darn close to it. And so the question is, how long is that burn? And A, of course, because we went to the Space Center and then came back. So we're going to need to get ourselves to our maneuver node and then do a quick little burst to find out how long this is going to take. How long is it going to take? Come on, give me control. How much electricity do we have? We've got plenty of electricity. So let's get there. Let's go full blast burn. It's going to be another 11-second burn. Whether I have 11 seconds or not, I don't know. And I just realized we have completely missed the maneuver node, and we are out of fuel. So that's unfortunate. This brave, untitled spacecraft is not going to make it to zone area F9FWX, but it found two temperatures of these zones that the Kerbal scientists desperately wanted to know, and here we are above the black surface of the moon. We're going to speed up time a little bit, and we're going to land on the moon, at least. Kerbals are going to finally have sent something to the surface of the moon. It's not going to be pretty. It's not going to be successful. Nothing's going to walk away from it. But we're going to hit the surface of the moon. Are you guys ready for it? I don't know if it is. Boom! And there we go. So that's another sort of pseudo-successful Kerbal probe launch. We managed to do a contract type that I've never done, and I didn't even do any research for this time around. Vessel is destroyed, of course it is. So yeah, pretty fun. I'm not going to be as frightened of those temperature scan contracts anymore. It requires an awful lot of fuel to sort of be, tilting your orbit that much, but we managed to do a couple, so I was pretty happy with that. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. A bit of a quicker episode than normal, but I just noticed this as I was finishing up the last episode and wanted to jump on it right away and go ahead. But as always, if you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, you can find me on Twitter at the Let's Play Leak. You can also find me on Facebook at facebook.com/the Let's Play Leak. You've already found me here on YouTube. If you like the videos, you should click those little thumbs up icons to let me know that you like the videos, the world know that you like the videos, and to keep my videos rising up through the ranks. As well, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, there's a button below each video and one in the outro of each video. That'll keep you up to date on all the latest Kerbal Space Program videos, new game review overview thingies, Steam roulettes, Hearthstone Tavern Brawls, and any other new series or random videos that will pop up here or there. But as always, if you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, let me know. Otherwise, I'll see you all next time.